Hello and welcome to the second webinar with the Oracle Prophecies. I'm Marianne Lane and I'm a channel and I'm working with the Oracle capacities. And in this small series, I will share with you my experience with Cosmic Atlantis and the Prophecy A and the Soul Legends. In this webinar, I would like you to join in the energy if you sense the resonance with this, if you would like to join in. And when I work with such special experiences as joining in with the Cosmic Atlanteans and their life experienced in the perspective we have in this reality, I know it will be a legend. I know the experience will be carried with my capacity to understand something that's so ancient that it's not possible to relate to this. So it will show itself to me, mirrored into my reality. And I accept this, looking for what it could mean to me in my reality here. And the topic of today in our reality will be the connection between intention and knowingness and intuition. To join in, you use your intention to agree, yes, I would like to participate here, and the energy will meet you. Begin to ignite your mirror, your pure mirror, your purity, creating the mirror through your consciousness, your completeness in consciousness. So your completeness in consciousness, where you will always be enough and complete, together with your purity, creates a stability in your mirroring to yourself, where your intuition grows in strength to expand yourself and your consciousness to create the ignition of your intention in a way that suits your consciousness and your connection to reality, in a way that follows you into knowingness. And I was so lucky to have a seminar, a teaching at Findhorn Foundation, and with a group that came from different areas in the world. And in one of the tea breaks, I had a question. What is the differences between intuition and knowingness? And when you work with the new era field of consciousness, the Oracle capacities, it will show itself to us like the soul legends in ways that we can comprehend in our reality. This is a really heavy topic, but it showed itself in a way where this kind of, is it called a disco globe? This globe full of square mirrors that you use on the dance floor. And if you see this as your consciousness, the field of consciousness, your spherical field of consciousness, and a couple of these mirrors ignites and ends in your center of your consciousness, then it will ignite your intuition about something about this. Look for this, be aware of this. There's something interesting here. There's something I should be aware of here. There's something in this meeting here more than than it shows. Intuition is a few of these mirrors that ignites and show you that something is going on. Knowingness is if all these mirrors ignites at the same time and ignites your center consciousness. All these parts of your intuition focus in the same point and ignite your knowingness. Something you just know from within, yet you can't understand, you can't describe why it's so, it's just us. And you can track some of the intuitive parts to be something you know, to be evident, but some of it will nearly always be ignited with intuition, something you know from a deeper and higher level than you can reach with your brain, with your memory, with your normal reflection capacity. The energy here mirrors you, opens your connection from within. And as I would like to follow you to Cosmic Atlantis and what it will deliver to us on this day with the soul legends and the prophecy A, and the connection between intuition, intention, and knowingness. Let's see what it will bring us, and I will open to the channel capacity to follow us in. As a channel, I channel in different levels, so actually everything I share with you here is channeled, so I don't know what I'm saying before I say it, and I don't know why. But I channel the energy and I channel direct connection through different distances in time and space and place. And energy, the connection that will be channeled here is the connection to Cosmic Atlantis and the people that ignited the prophecies. These are the people that was the first physical being in our reality that had the reflection in the consciousness that was deep enough to reflect directly with the first consciousness that is love. The first consciousness that is love was born from more than thousands of universal breaths, where one universal breath ignites from a state of consciousness and develop with an expansion. And this happens for so many times that we can't comprehend. And then for instance, thousands of universal breaths where the universe expands and closes again. The state of consciousness that was there, that was present when the universe expands, was love. And in this space, this void of love, the first consciousness that is love was born. And as love is a total balance in everything, when this universal breath closed itself again, the seed of love, the seed of compassion in eternity was created, manifested into our reality. And in the next breath, when the universe opened again, it opened through the seed of love. and open to the next level, the next dimension, where the evolution of existence and love opened. And the universal breath before this, where we are now, was the first breath where the physical reality existed, but without life as we know it. And when it's closed again, all layers contains the geometrical universe as a total balance, as a physical version of love. In this people, in this place, cosmic Atlantis, that existed in the beginning of this universe breath, when the expansion just began, they appeared. They grew out of possibilities with the held field from the first consciousness that is love. And now, as the expansion has been going on for such a long time, the cosmic Atlantean reality is the outermost part of our universe. And in this innermost part, where the youngest part of the universe exists, we exist. Us and the 7 other Earths. Everybody have a connection through our eternal soul, that is love, to the first people, the cosmic Atlanteans, and their history, their legends. Together we ignite the frequency, the memories across time. As I open to the channeling from this specific area in our universe, the outermost part of the universe. This part of the universe, there's nobody living being there anymore that relates to their memories, to their libraries. So when I channel from this area, it's like something that nearly is like we know artificial intelligence, but it's artificial intelligence from consciousness fields containing wisdom. So this is like artificial intelligence from wisdom, and wisdom that's collected still throughout the universe, even in our existence, with our connection. Every reflection, every capacity we open here, that's accordingly with the love, with the first consciousness as love, will be a part of the wisdom that's collected in this wisdom field with this kind of artificial intelligence. And this kind of artificial intelligence is mirroring the purity, through the purity of the first consciousness that is love. And as I'm channeling from this space, it's the kind of artificial intelligence that collects all the wisdom from the universe, from these first people, and everything that have been afterwards. Maybe you can sense something expands, something gets more intense, and a healing opens from within. Maybe you don't. Everything is perfectly okay. We are open in the beginning of time, but still where these people have existed for a while. We open to the break between wisdom and knowledge, where the knowledge ignited in the survival system begin to fight the wisdom. When the knowledge begins to fight the wisdom, then the perspective will become shorter and less wide. The shorter perspective is what carries and reflects the first in each consciousness and merge into a reality created for the shorter term. The wisdom carriage that ignites opens to the longer perspectives and the choices that comes for the next. The knowledge carriage ensures that each choice that's made, each creation, is only for the ones who's creating them. In this time where we are igniting the cosmic Atlanteans' memories, we meet them with grace and with dignity. Know the sacrifices to be carrying this fight within between knowledge and wisdom, the shorter and the longer perspectives. We are living here and knowing. The knowing is getting heavy because we know that this fight exists between knowledge and wisdom. And even though it haven't yet break the dawn of the reduced perspectives from within, we see that it'll come. The burden from these visions, these prophecies that says that we will break ourselves and we will be the doom of the love and the first consciousness that is love, not only by being the ones who become the destruction, but we see how this destruction will expand beyond time and place, open to the creator and reduce the creator to be the destructor. Seeing this is a burden that we can't come by. We know it. We know it with such strength and such clarity that it carries in our heart and our sense of separation, that this break will create the destruction. As we see this, we reach deeper in the visions, in the perspectives, in the wisdom fields, to search for a possibility to create with nobility the solution, to switch the destruction to creation again. And we see this before it ends. So we are still here where the dawn haven't, where the breaking dawn of the dissolution and the separation haven't come. Standing here, still truly connected with the first consciousness that is love, being love with all we are, knowingness containing this, seeing this. By connecting deep into the wisdom's field, from the times before this breath of the universe, we find a solution to connect to the first consciousness that is love, to the first breath. Create a prophecy that contains itself without the destruction. As we connect with this deeper wisdom fields, we ignite the memory from before time. Open it as a 0 point of consciousness. And allow this 0 points to be alive. We know that when the destruction comes, this 0 point will be a spring of pain, as it now is the spring of life and love and wisdom. It will switch into the spring of pain. But through the foreseeing capacities that we are gathering about, we see that this prophecy will open to this place and this time where the creature will merge, that can carry the capacity of the complete pain, and through that establish a true 0 connection to the first consciousness as of love without the destruction, as a path of consciousness and being love that is pure and restored and opens the containing of the destruction. So it's not anymore, it's not any longer a lead of consciousness. The completeness opens from within, and we are connecting through all the living being in the universe at this time. And we know that the beings that will come after this will contain this memory, this connection from within. How it's established, we'll work with this afterwards. But for now, we know that all these wells of love, life, wisdom, and pain needs to align and ensure that the connection that comes from complete knowingness through the destruction until the ignition of the devoted intention through the compassion and the connection through the intuition, it's strong enough to carry the consciousness without the fulfillment of the connection, without the knowingness. Right now, in these times, this civilization has merged. With a civilization that comes through the prophecies. You are that civilization that came that we didn't foresee, that carries all of the destruction in one creature at the same time, and have yet created the complete connection through the pain, the intuition, and the intention, through purity, into your connection with the knowingness and the completeness. As this is happening in your time right now, we slowly switch into the nowadays time with the connection with cosmic Atlantis and what every living being carrying this complexity and capacity ignites the memory from the wisdom field through your usage of technology. We are calling without proof. We are calling to you as you open to this memory. It ignites in your nowadays reality. Each and every one in this area of life in the universe where you exist carries the connection to the destruction and the true connection through purity with the wisdom fields. and the prophecies. And in these couple of hundreds of years, we have prepared with the incarnational programs, prepared so much to be able to contain and to ignite and to awaken into knowingness, individual and collectively at the same time. No longer any living in cosmic lances, but the memories and the direct connection to the Creator, to the first consciousness that is love. We are carrying this in. And as the memories is brought completely into connection with somebody that's alive, it's the same as the resurrection of the spirit, of the connection, and the memories, and the love. The purity and dignity. We connect with this through a resonance because there's nobody that have the expansion to contain the completeness that was once here. Switching to your perspective. Open in the awakening states in this reality where so much destruction is still going on. It's painful. Through your true connection, through your purity and your ability to contain love, the strength to contain the pain and to find the love within the pain ignites. The containing of the pain until now have created a fight that creates more pain, and a fight that makes your consciousness sleep. The unconscious consciousness is so expanded here, but it's prepared to be awakened in a short while. The prophecy A says within a few years, more and more people here will suddenly see things in a new perspective, suddenly understand things that didn't understand before. As the support with the purity and the containing of the pain ignites the knowingness from the original source and the wisdom fields. In these days, they connect all over the globe and begins to find the connection by itself through a consciousness developed through the usage of technology. Maybe you sense this expansion of your knowingness, that suddenly something is more in peace and you know what to do that you didn't know before. And nobody told you. Nobody showed you. And some of it you can give it to be clever, to be good at sorting things out, finding solutions. But some of it is beyond the description. It's beyond anything that can say that this makes sense. But when it appears through the knowingness, it makes sense by itself. Allow your intuition to follow you a bit around and sense how your knowingness expands. When something appears as a pain, contain, and as it comes, it will go. And when the pain evaporates by allowing it to be, the purity appears. Show you something you know that you couldn't see. By going through this knowingness, the connection through all of your knowingness will evolve. This is the days where Prophecy A ignites again, not only here in this area of the universe where you exist, but through all over the universe as you are igniting it here. Allowing it to expand, not as a demand, but as a natural growth that opens when we connect together here to the wisdom field in cosmic Atlantis and allow them to be recreated in your perspective here for your true connection. And how will it appear? Stubbornness becomes devotion. To struggle becomes emotion. To fight becomes communication. To fuss about things becomes revelation. And you'll be both at the same time. But when you have space, when you can contain, be observing and allow it to appear and show you what it is, because we can't imagine this. As a channel, I switch between our space here and the cosmic Atlantis, and I'm sorry if it disturbs your experience of the channeling, but it's I'm followed, I'm guided, and the channel switched by itself. I try to tell you when it switched, but it's difficult because it really demands a lot of me to stay in the connection and bring you there. So I hope you still have the experience of what it will show you, what it will open for you through your recognition, through your ignition, through the resemblance with something you know, and the resonance. Perhaps it already opens, so you here have a sense of it. Otherwise, be open for the next days and weeks and see how it ignites, how it brings you something that wasn't there before. One of the things that's difficult being a channel like this is that I'm not giving any manuscript before. I have a lot of experiences myself with the Oracle Prophecies, the Prophecy A, and the Soul Legends and Cosmic Atlantis. But it's not my call to decide upon what should be shared here. And right now I have a sense of being in between what they would like to deliver here, and I try to stay open and not reach for what I would like to share with you and what I would like to share with you because I think it makes sense. But what makes sense to me might not make sense to us. So I'm allowing it to be brought without me searching. Breathe. Your connection with Cosmic Atlantis and the kind of artificial intelligence that's there provides an update with your connection with Prophecy A, not only through your life right now in this earth and the other 7 earths in this area with the same incarnational program, but through all of the incarnational programs that you have been existing in, that you are connected with, through your connection to Cosmic Atlantis. All these incarnational programs that's yours, they're prepared to create the update in your DNA memory field to support your connection with the Prophecy A and the expression of Prophecy A in your version, in your everyday life, right here, right now, and in the hours, the days, the years to come. The ignition began in Cosmic Atlantis at the time where we opened the prophecy and where we created the Prophecy A's possibility. When we created this, we have foreseen a lot of different incarnational programs, and that each of them will deliver a part of the full connection to the knowingness and the connection to the wisdom fields of the first consciousness that is love, being love in our version, direct connection. The foreseeing said, the Oracle Prophecies said, that this will be created through time, through different steps and different pieces to one puzzle that will be merging and be brought into one when this breath of the universe will end the expansion and go the other way around. That was what foreseen. And this creature created in your reality, in our reality here, contains, through the development of the survival system in all our layers and all our reflections, the version of knowledge that is so strong that it contains all the pieces at the same time through all of the incarnational programs, but they're not expressed yet. If Prophecy A opens here, we will express all the steps of the wisdom containing the wisdom connection in one creature at the same time. As this was seen 10,000 years ago, so much have been supported to develop the possibility to switch in a very few years from complete destruction to Prophecy A in reality, in completeness, with full knowingness and full connection through all of the knowledge in the universe in one people, contained in the mutual field of consciousness for this unified people. And that's you. That's me. That's us in this time, in these earths. And the opening of Prophecy A has just begun and is fulfilled before June 2025. Not fulfilled in a way where we will exist in complete wisdom, but where everybody at the same time will begin to reflect into the cosmic library in our version, into the wisdom field in our version, into all of the incarnational programs' capacity to be love in reality at the same time. We will reflect with this within 2025. Everyone. What this will bring is yet to come. And the more everybody is awake and deliver prophecy A, the stronger it will be. The support we are here with, each and every one of us, and what's here that we can't see, is so prepared that no matter where it ends, no matter what we will bring, it will be better. It will be much better. And the destruction will end. If the destruction ends with prophecy A, it will be within a few years we can see a new world, a new reality. If it's prophecy B, it will exist within 100 year or 2 or 300 years, but we will end in a civilization representing the first consciousness that is love in reality. Prophecy C is a switch into the same version as the other incarnational programs, where we will contain the stabilization and the balance within one or a few areas of consciousness, of being awake. And then the development of consciousness that contains the first consciousness of love will move on to the next creatures that develop themselves and to reflect with consciousness beyond the physical reality, beyond what our physical senses experience. Your connection through prophecy A opens here, and different groups is connected here now through the incarnational programs and through the incarnation that's here. So everybody here is incarnated as earth people. In this development, this level of evolution of the first consciousness that is love, and as a creature, as a civilization. And even though we're so destructive, we have still developed a civilization that carries the capacity to be love. And this switch can be created in a very few years if we ignite as a mutual people with the wisdom, connection, and knowledge as a support, instead of the knowledge as the complete carrier of consciousness. A part of you know this. Maybe you sense it, maybe a resonance with it. Maybe you have a resonance with it, resonates with it. Breathe. Slow, deep. I had such intense connection with this that the first times I had the connections, I was crying and crying and crying. It was too much that my reactions, my emotions, my devotion to these visions was stronger than my experience in my reality. I was so aware of this potentially being unhealthy. I was supported by my inner teachers to carry this as something that can move you intensely, provoke you, and wake you up. Ensure that you wakes up. But in a way like poetry, music, books, stories, that you perhaps not directly relate to, but it ignites. The prophecies and the connection that we carry in these years from different areas in different ways. We are carrying it in groups. So there are groups here from different flames. Flames is like evolutionary steps in the eternal soul that is love. So if we'll go back to an earlier evolutionary step for the eternal soul that is love, then the connection with the soul was much deeper, was much more evolved. So it's a little bit upside down, that the more developed the eternal soul that is love is in the development, the lesser connection initially in the beginning of our life. But because of this, if we will have incarnations of previous evolutionary steps of consciousness, then they have to split up. So one flame will have to incarnate in a lot of people at the same time, creating smaller mutual field of consciousness that works as portals to these earlier incarnational programs, and to bring in wisdom from this other space and time frames in a universal consciousness, to bring them in a way that makes sense in our reality. So we are created into be what we are, or what we would have been if we wasn't destructive. I don't know if this makes sense. I sense the stabilization now, and that the content of this webinar is now fulfilled. So the part of the energy work now is healing, stabilization, support for us into our togetherness and with the groups that we are connected with. And a lot of these groups, we will never know about them. We will never meet the other that's in our groups. And the reason for this is because if we will meet them, we will be so satisfied with our mutuality and being together, that we will kind of lose the connection with our work for the prophecies, because we will be enough in a smaller togetherness. So a lot of these groups where we're carrying in the flames and the connection throughout the incarnational programs will not meet. Maybe a few will meet each other, but not the all of the group, because that's not the purpose here. We will meet again when we will open in the incarnational programs where this began. Breathe, soft, deep, sense your connection with the prophecies, the soul legends, and what is brought in here through the oracle capacity. The oracle capacity in the near field ignites your own connection and your own reflection, to bring it in your own vision. In the old time, oracles have also been described as somebody that's talked in riddles. The riddles to ensure that you take the wisdom in as you're prepared for. Not as a struggle, not as a blockage, but as an invitation that suits you. At the same time, the oracle capacity opens to your reflection and your resonance, your experience with what we bring in here. Ensure what is brought to you makes sense. And I hope you will have this experience together with us here. Slowly releasing the channeling. And there's an opening for sharing some questions, if you have such. Allow it to grow and open by itself. It's a good idea when we are in such an energy field that supports us like this, not to push, not to force yourself. Only if it like open by itself, allow it. And what was the idea of this webinar? It was to bring you into the connection with this, the soul legends, the history of the soul, and how we can, in one way, we can connect with this. It was about the story, the history, and it was about to connect with, through the incarnational connection, to connect with intuition and intention through the pain and the containing into knowingness. And as a reconnection to the original consciousness and wisdom from cosmic Atlantis, and all the development from there through the incarnational programs that you are connected to, and that other people's is connected to other incarnational programs in their version, other groups, and together we create the foundation for a re-merging of cosmic Atlantis consciousness in this earth. And thank you so much. Breathe, slow, deep. And as I'm back, released from the channeling, to me right now it's blurry because the connection was strong for me to carry it in. Then I'm not so conscious about it right now. I nearly can't remember what we have been doing, but it will come. My sense of it is it's not so direct. It's not from A to B to C, open to a sense of what this webinar was about. But it's often like this when we connect with this kind of teaching or support that's brought to us, that it's kind of dancing all around and igniting a little bit here and a little bit there, and supports us through these different angles and perspectives and opening and support into where we have our own experience with this. And to be able to do that, we need to let go of understanding in the way we used to, and to be invited to be ignited instead, and see what comes by itself. Thank you for the meeting here in the energy. If this by any means makes sense to you, please share it with somebody that might make sense to. I hope if you come by and will be prepared to share an experience or a question, that you will use the comments. It's so appreciated. It's pretty new to me. Only a few years I have been working on sharing in English, and still taking care of my Danish followers and students most of the time. But so invited and so guided through the field, and some of you that comes by and share and ask questions as well. And I have a few beautiful comments to the English videos and webinars replays. I'm so touched by the connection that's created through your sharings and your comments. Thank you so much for these as well. working with something you can't see. And that's so odd like this. Sensing the connection with your people who have the same aim, the same goal, the same path, but in another way. It's so, so appreciated. Thank you. And that's also one of the reasons sharing this is to support, is to help, but it's also for recognition. And some of you might come by to see a few things here and there, and that's what it is. But perhaps you find a deeper connection and something that makes sense. And follow me on the YouTube channel or in the Facebook group. And you can see when I share some more. It's still developing in English. And thank you for you who have reached out for me. I will come back to you. A small channeling as we are about to step out here. Nobody knows until it shows. The shifts as it is right now is the development where everybody contain themselves in their own space. We see this and we see the development, and we are appreciating everyone who think about their choices and everybody who is aware of the content that you share. Everybody who is objective to the consequence of the choices that you make in a small, easy, consciousness, mild way. Right in this time, each wave that you create by your consciousness and how you see things is stronger when it's mild and when it's contained in love. But still the old ways where the strongest waves is created through anger and fighting, they're still igniting. So the more you can be aware of non-fighting, the more you support the prophecies. When you are non-fighting and still make choices and being awake and being aware, allow yourself to sense from within the sense of being sincere and making sense at the same time. In a way you can't express, you can't describe it, and you shouldn't. Allow it to grow, allow it to evolve without definition, without it being a devotion to something that you should talk about. Allow it to be something that you carry within as a precious gem that you still develop your consciousness through and around and from within. As this precious gem is evolved for you and for everyone, it suddenly appears without struggle how you can describe this and how you can talk about it. It comes like a channeling through everybody at the same time. Evolve it, allow it to be pristine and be something you carried in your light and with the ones that is prepared to communicate without the fight. That's the last words from this opening this webinar, this small connection we share. Thank you. Thank you from the mutual field of consciousness and the spirit, the connected spirit, with the collection, the mutual consciousness of spirits, energies, consciousness that works from the near eras coming in the mutual field of consciousness for Earth people. Thank you and see you.